What up, Canine fam? Welcome. We are talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that is mass, strength, size, thickness in your canines. Love this category. First and foremost, you want to think about how do you create the mass and the size and the strength long term. That's got to be number one. You got to think about this long term. And health, longevity, and results, right? They're the three components. So how do you do that? First and foremost, the nutrition program. Secondly, the conditioning program. Third, the rest and recovery. And number four, the consistency, the rinse and repeat. So first is going to be, we're talking about the nutrition. Now, when we're talking about size and mass, the first question has to be what breed, what are the genetics, how old, and what are the goals, right? They're the three pillars that we want to focus on. But when we're talking about nutrition, it's way simpler than most people want to believe it is, or on the other end, want to convey that it is. And it comes down to this: animal protein, animal fat, the dynamic duo. Then you build from there. So here's what I mean: organ meats, muscle meats, bones, bone marrow, whole eggs. That's the dynamic duo. When you combine the animal protein, animal fat, now you're creating your building. You're building your house on concrete, on steel I-beams versus sand. Sand would be sugars, the carbs, the synthetic fillers, the grains, the corns, the ingredients that your dog reads as foreign, right? There's no substance there. Besides the health issues, there's no substance there. So when you look at the other side of this, the polar opposite, follow Mother Nature, the organ meats, the muscle meats, the bones, the bone marrow, the whole eggs, now you have that real foundation to build from and create long-lasting results. Second pillar is going to be, what's the conditioning program? Again, we go back to the same question. What are your goals? But what's the breed? What's the capabilities? The age? That's all got to be taken into account. I'll give you a great example. I have an 11-month-old performance pit bull. He is an athlete through and through. Physically, mentally, athlete. That's how he was bred. But he's 11 months old. So with the conditioning programs, I am completely doing everything I can to limit the jumping, the up and down, the pounding on the joints, the ligaments, the structure. I need to give that time to produce itself, to build itself, to create a solid foundation. But we're doing a lot of running, right? Not on concrete, not on pavement, but on soft foundations, dirt, mulch. I'm out here in SoCal, so we have a lot of that. Grass, things like that. That's not going to be a real heavy pounding. He loves to sprint. He has high prey drive. He's chasing the ball. He loves doing that. The flirt pole, the hang time, the tug, things like that. But if you have a different type of breed that's not as active, right? That's not as athletic and doesn't have those genetics, that's okay. Brisk walk up and down hills, right? Swimming. If you have access to swimming, it is absolutely the greatest because there's no pounding on the joints. There's no beating up the internal, but it's building the conditioning, the cardio, and the muscle mass. So when you're putting back with the animal protein, animal fat, along with the right conditioning program. I'm having a weight pull harness built right now. He's going to be pulling some tires, some toe chains, but no pounding, just steady, slow movements. You want to get a weight pull harness. If you have a dog that's conducive for that, absolutely phenomenal for the muscle mass, the strength, and the cardio conditioning. No different than humans, right? You got to figure out what level they're at and build from there. Third, rest and recovery. It's vitally important, especially with your canines, because they can't talk to you. Unless they're actually hurt, you're not going to know unless you're tuned in with what they're doing. And the way you get tuned in is seeing how they're performing, whatever they're doing. So even if it's just brisk walks, if they're a little slower today than they were the other day, all right, give them a little more rest and recovery. Because rest, here's the deal. You don't grow, you don't put the body weight on, you don't put the strength and the muscle mass on during the conditioning. You do it during the rest and recovery with the right nutrition. That's where you're getting the results. During the workouts is when you're breaking down. the rest and recovery with the nutrition, that's when you're getting the results. So understand that. So those 3 pillars. And number 4, without this, nothing happens. Consistency. You need to create a lifestyle for long-term change. There's no magic formula here that's going to happen overnight. The magic formula is the consistency with the right 3 pillars in place. Remember something else. This is a moving target. There's hormones related. There's all internal organs that are happening. So again, what's happening for the 6 months might not yield the same results 3 months later. So you just got to pay attention. But when you're talking the basics and you're really talking long term without making this complicated when it doesn't have to be, organ meets muscle meets bones, bone marrow, whole eggs, tied in with the right workout regimen, tied in with the rest and recovery, with the consistency. That's when you're going to get the results. That's when you're going to see a whole difference in your animal, right? So make sure that the quality of food with the right supplements, with the right conditioning program, proper rest and recovery with the consistency, they all work together as a team. You can't win the Super Bowl when your offense is in alignment with your defense, when your defense is in alignment with your special teams. You can't do it. You can't win a heavyweight MMA title, boxing title, without your coach, without your conditioning coach, without your corner man, without your cut man. It's all a team. Nobody does it by themselves, and your dog certainly isn't, especially when we're talking about weight, mass, strength, girth, thickness. That's how it works. Hit me up. Any questions, comments, questions, hit it down below. Share and like. Smash that like button. Smash that share button. Guys, Canine Super Supplements. You're going to leave with more information you came in with, whether you like it or not. Canine Super Supplements coming to a town near you.